Once you're in the patient profile, to do a KAMS assessment, click Add New and select KAMS. Upon selecting KAMS, the movement that you'll be performing is at the top of the screen. Get the patient positioned in the correct orientation to produce the movement. Once they are in that position, click the Calibrate button and then click Start. After clicking Start, you'll have the patient go through the movement. Upon completion of the movement, you will click Stop and you will see the assessment screen. Once completed, you will click Save and it will go on to the next movement. Again, you will have the patient go into the orientation of the movement, click Calibrate, and then click Start. Once the patient has completed performing the movement, you will click Stop. If you're satisfied with the movement, you will click Save. This will take you on to the next movement, again listed at the top of the screen. The third movement in KAMS is another range of motion, so it will be conducted the same as the first two. Click Calibrate and Start. The patient will go through the movement, and once completed, you will click Stop and Save, and it will take you on to the next movement. The next movement is back lateral flexion right, so it will be the same as the one performed before. This will conclude the range of motions for KAMS. Once completing this, click Save, and the next movement will be an overhead squat that requires a dowel or resistance band. Set the patient up as you will see in the video following. The scores are displayed on the right and left hand side of the screen. In the bottom right hand corner, there's a tutorial button that shows you how to perform each movement. Once the patient is ready, you'll click Start. They will go through the squat, return back to standing, and you will click Stop. Upon completion of the movement, you will see these three check boxes. If the heels were raised, the patient had lumbopelvic rounding or pain during the movement, check the according box and it will affect the score. Once completed, you will click Save. Following the overhead squat is the reverse lunge. Very similar, the dowel will be placed overhead. The scores are displayed on the left-hand side of the screen. In the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see which leg needs to be forward. Click Start once the patient is ready. They will step back, touch the knee to the ground, and then return back up to standing. Upon hitting Stop, it will take you on to the next leg in the bottom left-hand corner. Same order, the patient will step back, touch the knee to the ground, and return back up to standing. Upon completion of this, you'll see two check boxes. If the patient could not return back to standing, you will check those off and it will adjust the score accordingly. Once you're ready, you can click Save. Next assessment is the posture angel. The scores will be displayed on the left and right hand sides of the screen. Once the patient is in the position with the palms facing the floor, you will click Start and they will rotate the shoulders back, return them back down, and then you will click Stop. Upon completion of this, if they have any spinal extension, you'll check that box off and it will adjust the score accordingly. Once you're satisfied, you'll click Save and it will take you on to the next movement. The next movement performed in KAMS is balance. In the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, it'll show you how you need to set your patient up. Upon seeing this, you will have the patient stand with their hands on the hips and lift the leg up. Once in this position, you will hit Calibrate. Upon hitting Calibrate, you will hit Start and it'll give you a 3-second countdown. Once the test starts, you will see the graphs on the left-hand side of the screen are going to graph as the test goes, and on the right-hand side of the screen, the overhead tracking will move as the patient deviates from their start position. The test will automatically run for 20 seconds. Upon completion of the 20 seconds, the system will stop and save that assessment for you. There are 5 segments of the body that are scored during balance, each scored separately with the average being the total score. After hitting Save, the system will take you on to balance on the other foot. This will be displayed in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. You'll go through the same setup. You'll get the patient to put the hands on the hips, lift the leg, hit Calibrate, and then hit Start. It will give you the 3-second countdown and the test will start. Again, with the deviations being graphed on the left-hand side during the test and the overhead tracking on the right-hand side. Upon completion of this test, you will get the same 5 averages that make up the total score and hit Save and it will take you on to the next movement. The next movement in KAMS is the vertical jump. The leg that you will be jumping off of is displayed in the bottom left-hand corner. Start with the patient standing tall, hit Calibrate, and then Start. After hitting Start, you will have the patient load the leg, jump up as high as they can, landing on one or both feet. After clicking Stop, it'll prompt you to jump off of the other leg. Hitting Calibrate and then Start again, loading that leg, jumping off of one, and landing on one or both feet. After completing the jump on the right leg, you will see the jump scores for both legs. Hitting Save will take you to the final results of KAMS. Upon completion of KAMS, you will get the Functional Planar Mapping Index. You will get the overall score that is comprised of the 12 movements that you just completed during the KAMS assessment. You will get various indexes displayed below. Please refer to the Functional Planar Mapping and Movement Index to reference these indexes and what they mean. Once you finish going through the indexes, you will see the dysfunction regions that are listed at the bottom of the screen. The dysfunction regions provide the top 3 dysfunctions in the upper body and the top 3 dysfunctions in the lower body, whether the dysfunction is a mobility or a stability dysfunction and the plane of movement that it is occurring in. You'll see these displayed in the legend. You're able to rotate the skeleton around so that you can see the anterior and posterior sides, so you're able to view all the dysfunction regions. To access the corrective exercises, click the Corrective Exercises button in the bottom center of the screen. This will take you to the web page where you'll find all the information that you need. To generate the report, click the button in the top right-hand corner of the screen.